Hello, everybody. Now today we cover the second part of the grammar of lesson 21. The perfect tense of a. Another form of past tense, the so-called perfect, para-canonical, is extremely rare except for the third persons of the defective verb a, to say, which are favored in narrative. The meaning is indefinite time, often present. So we have aha, he said or he says, as well as ahangsu, and sometimes also in verse ahu. No other forms or tenses from the root a are used. Well, actually, aha can also be the second person singular. But yes, in this sense, he is correct. No other forms are used, no other grammatical forms. Okay, the perfect tense is distinguished in form by reduplication of the initial part of the root, here a becomes long, then a, and the inflections, particularly the third singular in a. So perfect forms from various verbs are occasionally affected in later Pali poetry. Moving on. Repetition. In Pali, repetition amendita of a word or expression is quite frequent. The meaning may be emphasis vary as bandhani, bandhani, badhani, yanani, very fine carriages. Often, particularly with pronouns in declinables, the meaning is distributive. Yo, who, yo, whoever. Yata, in this way. Yata, in whatever way. Just as, however. With answering, tata, so. Now, repetition also expresses strong emotion of any kind, in which case a whole phrase may be repeated. Further examples, sigam, so sigam is fast, sigam, very fast. Sanda, salio, rice plants in thick clusters. The compound here. Apikantam bante, very fine indeed, sir, expressing great praise or admiration. Ahorasang, what piquancy, expressing wonder. Ditta bo satat jivasi, it's wonderful to see you alive, expressing happiness. Ayami avuso, I'm coming, sir, expressing assurance. Apikamata vaseta, hurry forward, or vasetas, which enjoins haste. Ma bavang sonadando, evang avacha, ma bavang sonadando, evang avacha. Let not the Honorable Sonadanda speak thus, expresses anger or blame. Nassa asuchi, perish, wild one, expresses anger, contempt, and disgust. Tuvang, you in a quarrel, expresses disrespect and contempt. Tuvang is a form of twang, here presumably emphatic. All right, moving on to the vocabulary. Basically, we can remember that when something is repeated, usually it's emphatic. Kattara suppo, old winnowing basket. Kalambuka, a creeper. Convolvulus repens. So this is a type of a plant. Kako, crow. Karatang, roughness. Kalang, threshing floor. Kudang, razor. Gampo, embryo. Gomayang, cowdung. Chatuhang, 4 days. Chatang or chatakang, sunshade. Jivika, livelihood. Tandulang, rice grain, husk rice. Tiham, 3 days. Tuso, husk or chaff. Damo, taming or restraint. Dadako, boy. Dado or dada, so masculine or feminine, wife. Duiham, 2 days. Namang, name. Nidanam, cause, source or origin. Nilopo, plunder, pamsu, dust or mud, pati, lord, papattako, fungus, paripanto, ambush, paripako, ripening, parilaho, burning, lust, pataraso, breakfast, morning meal, patavirta, indulgence, badalatha, creeper, besatchang, medicine or drug, mamsang, flesh or meat, maryada, boundary, mahajano, the people, mahabhuto, element, mano, pride or conceit, rajakulam, royal court, lingam, characteristic, lettu, a clot, vinyuta, discernment, discretion, vetcho, doctor, physician, vivannata, discoloration, samyamo, self-control, abstinence, samkara kuto, rubbish heap, satchavachang, speaking the truth, or truthfulness, sando, a cluster, sandhi, this is our sandhi, the grammatical term, but here it means, well, also, it means then junction, joint, or preach. Sannidhi, store, samanyang, state of being a wanderer, ascetic, philosopher, profession of an ascetic, etc. Sayamaso, evening meal, sarago, passion, sippang, craft, trade, profession, setti, ash, adjectives, akatta, uncultivated, unplowed, akana, being a bahubihi. So without the red coating, which lies underneath the husk, aganya and upapada samasa, knowing the beginning, literally, agan janati iti aganya, aganyo, prime evil or original, ativela, excessive, atusa, without husk, also bahubihi, aparisesa, also bahubihi, without remainder, meaning complete or absolute, abirupa, handsome, alasa, lazy, asuchi, impure, dirty, vile, dubhanna, discolored or ugly, pakka, ripe, paryanta, bordered, encircled, paka, ripe or ripened, pamukha, foremost, metuna, sexual, yaniya, leading to, satisa, like, of such sort, sandittika, visible, luna, reaped or mown, which comes from lunati, samahita, concentrated, which comes from samadahati, and sampari kirna, surrounded by, covered with. This comes from samparikirati, and a couple of gerunds. Anvaya comes from anui, anveti, following in sequence of. This goes together with the accusative. Netva from ni nayati, having led. And a few indeclinables, ake, since, tat ake, since then, ativelang, too long, excessively, anupobena, in due course, in succession, aho, expressing surprise, approving, and delight, ittang, thus, in this way, kata, where, j, you, a form of address by a master, mistress, to a slave woman, preceded by handa, kin, etc., or by gacha, nyeva, meaning eva, junction form sometimes used after the nikahita, parto, in the morning, saki, or sakit, or saking, or sakit eva, or saking eva, once, all of which mean once, samanta, on all sides, all around, sayang, in the evening, su, even, isn't it, or sometimes just merely emphatic, seyatidang, as to wit, and handa je, you there, meaning like the address of a master mistress to a slave woman again, having the handa in front of it. Okay, today up to here. Then Ponadasanaya Tava Bhaveya Subham Mangalam.